So what does Bella Goth actually do all day while her family is gone? Well, I watched her for 30 days straight, compiled all the data, and in this video, I'm going to reveal everything I found. So when you start a new save file in the Goth house, Mortimer and Cassandra Goth both leave for work and school at the same time in the morning, and from what we know, Bella does not have a job. So the entire day is hers. And the other day I was playing, and I thought to myself, what the heck does she do all day? So I was so curious, so I set out on a journey to find out. The main question I wanted to solve was how to get this data. Well, unfortunately, there was no other way but to do the simple, boring part of sitting here and cataloging everything Bella did for 30 in-game days. It was terrible and I hated it. But I did it for you! Essentially, I let the game run for 30 days. And whatever Bella did between the hours of 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., I just notated the activity and the duration. I didn't interfere at all with the game, and I did not choose any of Bella's actions, except for a couple times when I did have to intervene, for example, when a bunch of roaches trapped her in the corner of the lot. Other than that, my goal was to let the game decide, to let Bella decide. Whatever she wanted to do, she got to do it. I was just there to observe. Now, there are two pieces of data that I'm going to show you in this video. The first will be a tally of how much time Bella spent doing all that she did for that 30-day period. I'll show you a really pretty pie chart that I compiled. That's actually not true. It's not very good. Now, the second piece of data is what I'm really excited for, and it's going to answer the question that I set out to answer from the very beginning, which is, what is an average day for Bella Goth? What is an average 8-hour day, right? I took the data from the 30-day period, I averaged it all down into one single 8-hour day, and then I made a simulated schedule for her. So you're going to definitely want to stick around to the end of the video because it's really funny and also a little bit sad. Couple of disclaimers before we proceed. First, I do want to note, as I said earlier, as much as I tried to let the game completely run unchecked for that 30-day period, I did have to step in a couple of times to keep everybody on the rails. So Mortimer caught on fire once, and Cassandra kept going to military school. So whenever anything out of the ordinary happened, or if anybody perished, I just would restart and try to keep the family intact, right? So the experiment would continue on. Now, my second disclaimer is that the data I collected has been rounded either up or down so that each activity would fall into increments of 15 minutes. I did that so that doing the math would be easier. So if peeing took 14 minutes in real time, I would just round it up to 15 minutes. Things like that, right? But don't worry, it's still very accurate. Part 1, collecting the data. So let's look at the very first day. Mortimer and Cassandra skipped off to work and school happy as a couple of clams, and Bella started her day painting. She painted from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Then she went downstairs and stood still for 45 minutes. That part killed me. I was laughing so hard. Then she read a book from 11:45 to 1 p.m., ate chips for 30 minutes, then washed her hands for 30 minutes. By now it's 2 p.m. She took a bath for an hour, and then cooked a meal for an hour. And that was the day. And now I also noticed this. It's really funny how long things take for your sim to do things when you really pay attention. Like washing your hands can take 30 minutes sometimes, and going to the bathroom can take 15 minutes, or even 30 minutes. Waking up to answer the phone, multiple hours. Anyway, this was Bella's first day, and then 29 to go. So I opened up a nice little spreadsheet on my computer, and each day I just charted what she did all day long. So here's what my data looked like in the end. Here's 30 days of data. This is basically it. So again, I just charted all that she did, and some of this stuff is really funny. You can look at one of these days here where there was just a fire the entire day, so I had to chart that. So I got the whole 30-day period, and now we're going to tally it up. So part 2, how does Bella spend her time in this 30 days? So what does she do the most often? What about the least often? Well, let's look at the data. The most time she spent on anything was cooking and eating meals. I did combine those two, cooking and eating, so a total of 169 hours in that 30-day period, which was 42.5% of the month. That's insane. Then number 2, which is very funny to me, the second most amount of time was spent sleeping, coming to a total of 105 hours or 26.4% of that month. And again, this is not at night, right? I only charted her activities during the day. So this is anytime she just took a nap. It's very lazy, to be honest. All right, and number 3 is actually kind of cool. Painting. She spent 47 hours in that 30-day period painting. That is 11.8% of the time. So a really cool craft that she has. So those are the top 3, and I'm going to show you this pie chart here, which you can see this huge piece here, which is cooking and eating. Here's some other activities of note. Time spent dealing with the clown, 10 hours a month. That happened to more than you would realize. Time spent standing completely still, 14.5 hours a month. 5 hours a month using the restroom, 5 hours a month stomping on bugs, and this one was really sad. Only 2.5 hours a month interacting with her family. Like, I was shocked at how low that was. I mean, I know there's all kinds of Bella Goth backstories and everything, so I guess it's possible that one of those backstories might make sense here, but either way, it was very sad. That is a very low percentage of time engaging with her family, so it is what it is. And here is the most important part of this video, which you've all been waiting for. This is the average day. So part 3, what's an average day for Bella, right? Based on all this data, if we were to average it down, here's what it looks like. Each day from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., Bella spends 2 hours and 49 minutes cooking, 1 hour and 45 minutes sleeping, 47 minutes painting, 29 minutes taking a bath, 14 minutes standing still, 14 minutes having a fire, 14 minutes playing the piano, 14 minutes dealing with the clown, 8 minutes reading, 6 minutes snacking, 5 minutes using the restroom, 5 minutes stomping on bugs, 3 minutes cleaning, 3 minutes washing her hands, 3 minutes putting her butt on the fountain, 2 minutes feeding her fish, 2 minutes talking to her daughter, and 30 seconds talking to her husband. What a day! She definitely does a lot of activities in that time. And I also thought it would be fun to create like a fake schedule to see how realistic are these numbers. And it actually is pretty realistic. So here's what I did. I'm going to show this to you. I think it's comparable to a real human being. The nap is pretty realistic, 1 hour and 45 minutes. I don't know how many clowns come to the average person's house. Going to the bathroom might be a little short here unless she just peed 5 times, which, you know, takes about a minute to pee. So like I said, it's not perfect, but I think this is pretty believable. So I don't know, maybe when all's said and done, The Sims 1 is actually kind of accurate to how people would live their lives in real life. I don't know, what do you think? Tell me down in the comments below if you think this game is realistic or if it's too unrealistic. I'm really not sure, honestly, but I'd love to see your thoughts. Now, we explored every single detail about the life of Bella Goth, and we gained significant insight into how she spends her time and who she is as a person. It's clear that Bella is a fascinating individual with a unique routine. There's nobody else quite like her, that is for sure. And also, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel and you've been watching the video all the way here to the end, what are you doing? I mean, click that button right now, right? Because you belong here, and I don't want you to miss my next video. So please subscribe, and then next, I want you to watch this video, which is called The Sims 1 in Real Life. Basically, I become a sim, I go into the game, and I do sim stuff. I think it's pretty funny, and I think you should watch it next because I think you'd like it. Okay? Click over and watch it next.